Okay, so we're recording and it's Kara and Jamie here. We're gonna run through just a quick training on setting up ManyChat for a couple automated things. We're not gonna get too deep into the woods, just trying to get some users on ManyChat to see some of its capabilities and to give you a couple of points that I've learned and that Jamie has learned. So I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen so that you guys can see kind of what it is we're talking about. And so here is my Many. Can you see my screen okay, Jamie?
I do.
Okay, so this is my dashboard. And if you haven't set up your ManyChat, just go to ManyChat.com, kind of without all this craziness on the back end. And it's going to ask you to, make sure you're logged in as the user that you want to be managing the ManyChat. So for instance, I'm logged in as Ken and Kara Babble. That's our personal page that I want to run the ManyChat from. So you just go into ManyChat.com. It's going to ask you, to log into Facebook. So you'll click that big blue button that pops up to get you going on ManyChat. And then it asks you which page you would like it to run from. So I selected over here the No Limits Marketing, and that's the page that I'm running this out of. So now the first thing with ManyChat that I struggled with was how do you get subscribers? And I've only been doing this since December 18th, so it's only been, not too long. I really haven't played around with it too much except for the last couple of days. So I only have 27 active subscribers. But it's because I didn't know how to get people to subscribe. So there's 3 ways that you can subscribe to your ManyChat. The first way is if they click on a button on your fan page for send message. So on your fan page, you have kind of your profile picture and where it has that little button that says send message. If someone clicks on that and sends you a message, they are automatically subscribed to ManyChat. So that's one way to get people in. The second one is if you are able to send them a message from your fan page. So for instance, say they commented on a post and you have the option to like, reply, or message. If you click on message and you send them a direct message from your fan page and they respond, it's at the time that they respond, they become a subscriber to ManyChat. The third one is if you create a growth tool in ManyChat, which we'll try to get through today. If you create a growth tool through ManyChat and they comment on a post that then triggers the growth tool and they respond to those messages, they become a subscriber. So you can't just manually add people. You really have to kind of work on how to get people to ManyChat. So one thing that I did last night was I went to my fan page inbox, and anybody that I've had conversations with, I sent them a message, hey, and their first name, it's been a while. Just wanted to see if the spark you had when you first commented or you first reached out to us was still there. And that was it. So I sent them kind of a yes or no question, and it doesn't force them to respond, but it gives them an opportunity. It gives them a question to respond to. So the minute they respond to that question, they become a subscriber to ManyChat. And like I said, I started that about 11:30 last night, and it's 5:45 the following day. And I've gotten, I think, 10 new subscribers just by going into old messages that I've sent out of my fan page and ask them to, ask them a question. So the minute they say yes and respond, they become a subscriber to ManyChat. So that's kind of those 3 ways of how to get people into ManyChat. And you can see here, this is my audience now of subscribers that I've had and that I've been able to get in ManyChat. And that's over here when I clicked on audience. So, excuse me, those are the 3 ways to get people in. It's a little cumbersome, but you kind of have to opt in. You have to have them opt into the ManyChat portal. So any way you can get people to message you is great. So just as kind of a side note, if you're not ready to run the automation of ManyChat, I still suggest getting ManyChat and hooking it up to your business page so that at least as you're manually messaging people from your business page, you're capturing them in ManyChat. So when you're ready to start the broadcasts and the automations, they're there. And you don't have to rebuild that audience. Does that make sense? So even if you're not ready, just go ahead and kind of start it up. So now the first thing I suggest is once you're into here, my first suggestion is to get your welcome message for anybody that clicks on that send message from your fan page. So the way to do that is you come over here to automation, you click on automation, and you go to welcome message. Now originally it's going to pull up a generic a generic post like, hey, thanks for reaching out, we'll respond to you. So it's not very personal. It doesn't really have your personal touch of your page on it. So I went ahead and changed my message. And oops. So it kind of pulls this up. So you click on the message and it brings up a typable keypad over here on the left-hand side. And all I typed in was, hey. And then if you click on this button down here, the little guy, it pops up the ability to put in first name, last name, full name, whatever you want to do. So in this instance, I clicked on first name, and so that's the text that'll come in. Now, if for some reason their first name isn't available, or if Facebook doesn't know it, or if for some reason that's not there, you have an option to put in a fallback. So whenever I start a message, my fallback is the word there. So THERE. So if they can't find hey Jamie, it'll say hey there instead of just hey space space exclamation point. So that gives you the ability to put a fallback in if you want to. So I'm going to delete that out of there because I don't want that in there. I'll edit it later. So then I changed my message to say, hey, first name or there. Thanks for reaching out. What would life be like if you did not work a full-time job or if you had the freedom to shape every day as you wanted? That's kind of just what I thought was a good message, you know, kind of getting them to think about why it was they clicked on our message. And then what you can do is you don't want things to feel super, super automated, so you might want to show that it's delaying. You know, if you message one of your friends, how it shows those little bubbles, and you can tell that they're either reading it or they're typing for you. You can do something similar in ManyChat, where you'd come and scroll down underneath your message, and we're here where it says delay. If you click on delay, you can choose typing for 3 seconds, 4 seconds, 5 seconds, however long you feel that message is going to take you to physically type. So if it's a longer message, you're going to want to extend the delay. If it's a short, quick message like, hey, how's it going? You can type that in 3 seconds. So I'm going to choose 3 seconds here, but you'll also notice that it kind of puts it underneath. It puts it underneath your message. So you're going to want to drag it up to the top so that so what happens is they click on the button, send message from your fan page, and then it'll take them to Messenger and type your message. And then, so for 3 seconds, it's going to show the little dots as if I'm physically typing this message to them. And this message will go back to them. So that's kind of setting up your, and I just deleted out that extra delay that I already had a 5 second on here. So I deleted that delay out. So that kind of explains, you know, how to put the delay in there so that it appears like you're typing. So that's the first thing I would do, even if you're not ready to run ManyChat, is to get this welcome message going. And then you would just come up here and click publish. So now, if anybody messages me on my fan page, that's the message that they're going to get, and I'll get a notification on my fan page that someone messaged me, so I'm able to respond to them. The next thing is kind of, sorry, I had a little interruption. The next thing I want to go through is broadcasting. So you have different ways to kind of broadcast to people. So once you have your subscribers, you can send out automated messages. You know, our webinars are on Mondays and Thursdays, and I don't want to spam everybody, so I'm kind of creating my own little schedule in the back of my mind of when I'm going to send these types of messages. So let's say, for instance, I want to go ahead and schedule a broadcast. I'm going to go up here in the top right-hand corner and click on the blue button that says New Broadcast, and it's going to pull this up again. So what's going to happen is I'm going to type in kind of something that says, hey, and then let's go ahead and add their first name again by clicking on the person's name, first name. My fallback, like I said, is going to be the word there, just in case Facebook can't find their first name. So I'm going to say, hey there. Why is that being silly? Oops, sorry. Key issues. So I say, hey there, we are going to be having a live workshop tonight at, and then I'll put in the times, like 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. Are you free? Are you free to watch? So I'm going to ask them a question. Are you free to watch? And then what I can do is click on add button. So I'm going to give them the options of, yeah, I'm free, or no, I'm not available. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the add button. And over here, then it pops up this new box here. So on this button, it's the answer that I want to allow them to choose. So yes, I want to watch. Okay, if they click on yes, I want to watch, I want to send them another message with my link to sign up for the webinar. So I'm going to go ahead and click on send message, and then you have to click on send message again, and it's going to bring up another box to send message. So I'm going to say, awesome. All I need you to do is register to save your spot. You can do that at, and I'm going to go ahead and put in my landing page. Okay, and then that's all I'm going to, oops, misspelling. So, you know, that's, I don't know why that happened. Hold on. Oh, it really did not like me. So if they say, yes, I'm free tonight, awesome. All I need you to do is register to save your spot. You can do that at www.iquitwithasmile.com. And again, I'm going to scroll down here and I'm going to pick a delay. And that's not a real, you know, super long message, but I do have a URL in there. So I'm going to go ahead and say that that's going to take me 6 seconds to type it. And I'm going to move that delay to the top. I'm going to move that delay to the top of the message, just so that when they click on that yes button, it's going to show the little bubbles as if someone's typing, and then they're going to get this message. Okay, so then it's going to say that you can do that at iquitwithasmile.com. And you know, add your own personal touches, whatever script you have to get people to the webinar, go ahead and do that. Now I'm going to go back to the original message that I'm going to be sending out, and you can do that either by clicking on this arrow here or just going back to your post. So now you can see my first message of, hey there, we're going to be having a live workshop. Are you free to watch? So the first option was, yes, I want to watch, which takes them to that next page, and here's my link. Here's another one that says, no, I don't have time, or I can't tonight. Well, we don't want them to think they don't have time. I can't tonight. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and click on send message and send message again. And then I'm going to say something like, no worries, I can send you a replay if you would like. Just register at, and then go ahead and put in my URL again. So I told you, hey, don't worry about it. I can send you a replay if you want, but I still need them to register, because these are people that aren't necessarily leads with me yet. So I still want them to register even if they don't have time tonight, and then I can start to follow up with them as leads. Or you can put anything in there, hey, don't worry about it, I'll send you another message for our next broadcast. However you want to handle that. So then what I'm going to do is, I've now set up my kind of messages. Oh, almost forgot the delay. I'm going to go ahead and click on my delay, and I'm going to go ahead and say 5 seconds for this one. And just kind of base however fast you think you can type on it. So if you're a slower typer, go ahead and add a little more, you know, a little bit longer, because you definitely don't want the automation to be faster than what you are going to be if you start to respond personally to these people. So now that I kind of have that broadcast set up, I'm going to hit go next. And I keep it on the subscription broadcast. And then if we want to schedule it for later, you're going to go ahead and click on schedule it for later. Now I'm going to push it out further just so that I remember to go back in and delete it, because I want to go back in and add some of my own flair to it. So if I wanted to schedule it for, say, March 9th, and then if you're sending, my suggestion, if you're sending a link for people that haven't registered, you want to give them time to register. So send it, right around lunchtime maybe, or early afternoon, a few hours before the actual webinar happens, because that'll give you time as well to check your leads and follow up your leads to make sure that they're getting the link for the webinar. So I'm going to go ahead and schedule this for, say, 11:45 a.m. Now I'm on Eastern time, so is that going to go out at 11:45 my time, or are we able to adjust it so that it goes out 11:45 Pacific time as well? Well, if we want to try to keep it around the lunch hour, go ahead and hit apply. If we want to keep it on the lunch hour, we can come down here and say time travel, which if you notice over here that messages will be delivered at the same day time according to the user's time zone. So I picked 11:45. So it's going to send a message to all of my Eastern Standard Time people at 11:45 Eastern Standard Time. Then it's going to send all the Pacific time zone people at 11:45 their time. So you're going to have that staggered, so it hits everybody at their lunchtime, which I think is a really, really cool feature. So now let's say, for instance, so I always suggest go ahead and preview kind of what's going to happen. And you can do that by coming up here and hitting preview. And we should hear a ding on my Facebook page, and then this popped up too. So let's go ahead and see what happens here. So I got a message as the test message that says, "Hey Ken, we're going to be having a live workshop tonight. Are you free to watch?" So if I, this is what the user will see. So if I click on yes, I want to watch. See how it's typing? There's that delay. So it's not, doesn't feel as automated. It's not an instant response. So as a new user, I'm like, oh, look, they're going to respond to me. So I'm waiting. Awesome. All you need to do is register to save your spot. You can do that I would click here, be taken out, go register, and then I can start that whole lead follow-up process that I have. So that's kind of the testing part of it. So in my opinion, it works, and I can go ahead and schedule the message. Now, one thing that I have done is I don't want to spam, or I guess I don't want to send my registration link to people that are already in my back office that are leads, because if I send that, they're going to be like, I already went here, I've already registered. So what I've done is I've taken all of my subscribers that are actual leads, and I've tagged them, and I'll show you how to do that here shortly. I've tagged them with the tag of opted in. So what I'm going to do for this message, because it has my link in it, is I'm going to click on condition, I'm going to click on tag, I'm going to click on isn't opted in. Okay, so what that means is that this broadcast is going to go to all of my subscribers that I have not tagged as opted in to already receive the webinar. So they've already gone to my landing page, they've already registered, and they're already getting my follow-up series that I have set for my leads. So this message is just going to go to people that I've been communicating with through Messenger that have opted into ManyChat that aren't leads yet. So then I would just go ahead and click on schedule message. And that will go ahead and say, awesome, you got your broadcast scheduled. So then you can go back to broadcast. And then last night what I did was, like I said, I've tagged all of my people that have opted in. So I went ahead and set up another ManyChat broadcast that's going to go out 5 minutes before the webinar goes live tomorrow night. And on this one, all it is just a boom, live workshop starts now. Here's your private access link. And I physically have the link to the webinar in there. So I'll go ahead and kind of run through how to schedule that type of with a button on it. So we're just going to do the same thing. We're going to go to new broadcast. And then here, I can put my emojis in that I want. Boom, we are live in 5. click here and wait for the magic or whatever. Okay, and I'm gonna go ahead and put my little arrows or my little fingers pointing down. And then I'm gonna click on add button. And over here, I'm gonna go open website. So that's my button that I'm gonna add this time, whereas the last time I did, schedule message. So I'm gonna go to my website address. So then I'm gonna go to the global affiliate zone. Hold on, I've gotta get a different. So I would go to my back office. And I thought I had myself logged in. I apologize. Is this making sense, Jamie? Am I going to?
Yes, make it. No, I'm understanding everything.
Okay. Well, and that's, I watched not all, but I watched some of the training that ManyChat has, and I'm sure it's good training, but it kind of pushes you into the deep end before, you get, why is this not, oh. It pushes you into the deep end before it gives you kind of how to start it. So I'm just going to come back here. I'm going to copy my my webinar page, and I'm going to post that here in my URL. Okay. So, oops, and I forgot to name it. So you can always click on it and change my title over here. So if I were to hit done, and let's go ahead and preview it and see what happens. If I click preview, I'm going to get a message, and then it's going to say, we're live in 5. So if I click on it, it's going to take me to the physical webinar page. So that will happen 5 days before, or 5 minutes, before the webinar goes live. So I think it's just kind of a quick reminder of, hey, it's going live. And what I did on, so you have this all set up. You don't need to do a delay on this one because you're actually going to schedule when it goes out. It doesn't go out depending on someone's comment or on someone's message to you. So I'm just going to go ahead and click next. And then on this one, I'm going to target my people that have opted in because I'm physically giving them that link to the webinar. So I want to make sure that they're coded to me, that they're already leads. So on this one, I'm definitely going to tag that they are the people that have opted in. Okay, so I don't want to send this to people that I haven't tagged as physical leads because you're going to have people in Messenger, you're going to have people in ManyChat that aren't your physical leads yet. You really want to make sure that you've tagged those people and are giving them access to kind of to the backup, to the webinar link if they're coded to you. And then same thing here, schedule it for later. I'm going to go ahead and just push it out so I can delete it. Change your time, click apply, and then on this one, because it's the webinar, you're going to want to make sure you schedule it for a time 5 minutes prior to the webinar or however long you think it's going to take people to log in. If most of your audience is like real fast and they can log in real quick and they're always on their phone and they don't need much of a reminder, give them 2 minutes, however long you think they're going to need. Go ahead and schedule it. And then you want to make sure that you do the time travel so that you want to send this one all at the same time because it's going to go out your time and it's always, the webinar doesn't start at 9 o'clock Eastern and then another one at 9 o'clock Pacific. It starts at 9 o'clock Eastern, which is 6 o'clock Pacific. So you want to make sure that you're sending this one all at the same time, which is going to be 5 minutes before that broadcast or the webinar starts. And then you're just going to go ahead and click schedule message. And then you can always go back to your broadcasts and see which broadcasts you have scheduled. Okay, we only have 10 minutes left on my Zoom, so if we get booted off, I'll try to wrap up a couple things, at least on this one, and then we'll be done in 8 minutes. Okay, okay, so these are the ones that I've scheduled that'll be going out, and then you can always click on more. So when you're at your broadcast, if you want to see how people are doing, you can kind of come down here and see the history down here. So I've sent a couple where I only sent 3 here. I had 2 people who read it, but they didn't click through to anything. So they read the message but didn't necessarily move forward with it. And those could very well be ones that I've tested on my own. So I'm not necessarily sticking with that data as true and accurate. So real quick before we get kicked off here, I'm going to go into the audience and show you how to tag someone. For instance, like I said, I'm tagging the ones that are physical leads as opted in. So you would just click on audience. And then, so say for instance, this person just signed up in my back office. Oh, sorry, they already signed up. So let's find someone that hasn't signed up yet. So this gentleman here. So he hasn't signed up, and I can simply click on add tag, and I can enter my tag. I only have one tag right now, and it's an opted in tag, but I can start typing in any tags that I have will come in here, and I can choose that one. So I would click on opted in, and then I would click on X, and now that person is part of my opt-ins. So he would not receive the one that says, hey, register, but he would receive the one that says, here's the webinar link. So I'm going to jump back in here real quick because I don't want him to be tagged as opted in because it's going to screw up my logic behind the scenes. So those are just some real quick tips of what I learned, at least for getting the broadcasting out. And then I think maybe next time we'll go through some growth tools. But what questions, Jamie, do you have on what I went over now for this kind of start up, get you at least running a little? Do you have any, what did I miss? What was confusing? Did it make sense?
It all made sense to me.
Was it better than any training, the training that's in the ManyChat tutorials? Because like I said, those tend to throw you in the deep end.
Yeah, like I'm talking about, is it Michael with ManyChat?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah,
They start you
he
off with
talks to you.
automation and flows, and I'm not there yet.
Right, right. Yeah, he talks to you like you ought to know it all already.
Correct. So at least this training tells you to go ahead and start ManyChat, even if you're not ready. You can start capturing those people messaging. And then it kind of, it tells you the 3 ways that you can get people into messaging and just to set up a couple little broadcasts. So, makes sense?
Makes sense.
Okay.
That even helped me some. Yes.
Okay, good. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and sign off. I'm actually just going to go ahead and stop the recording. If anybody has questions, feel free to shoot me at Ken and Kara Babel or shoot Jamie at Jamie Romney a message, and we'll work with you. And if we don't know, we're here to help and to teach you guys some good value. So I'm going to go ahead and hit end recording. Stop my share.